Hey everybody, welcome back to Edmonton Truck Training. We do provide air brake instruction and courses at this school. And today we're going to run you through what an air brake test would look like when you do your practical after 6.5 hours in class minimum. So before we begin any air brake test, we want to ensure the vehicle is safe and secure. So we do have wheel chocks in place, and both our red and our yellow buttons are pulled out so our spring brakes are engaged. The first part of our air brake test will be our tractor protection system. So what I'm going to do is go in the truck and I'm going to push in my red button for my trailer supply, and I'm going to disconnect both our lines. I highly recommend you wear safety glasses when working to pressurized air systems. Have the key in the opposition so your gauges work. So I'm going to start with the blue line. When you're taking off the red line, it's under pressure, so cover it with your hand and turn your head. We're now going to get back in the truck and watch our air pressure gauges. The red button should pop out between 40 and 60 psi or higher, and we should see our low air warning come on by 60. So we're back in the truck now. We got both our lines connected to the trailer. Watching our air pressure gauges, we got our low air warning by 60 psi. This red button should pop out between 40 and 60 or higher. On some tractors, this will pop out the minute you take that red supply line off. There we go, it popped at about 45 psi, so that's within parameters. Now we want to check our tractor protection valve is functioning properly. So we're going to pull our spike brake and make sure there's no air coming out of the blue signal or service line. That's a pass. We're now going to push in our park control valve, and we're going to fan our service brake until the yellow one pops out. It should pop out anywhere between 20 and 45 psi. There we go, it just popped. And it popped at 20, so that's within spec. I'm going to now climb out of the truck using 3-point contact and reconnect both my blue and my red line to the trailer. It's also good to note when you're reconnecting your lines to double check the grommets that they're not folded over, or we will have an air leak on our leak test. So now we're going to do a supply circuit test on our truck and trailer. In order to do that, we're going to start by getting our timer ready, and we're going to start with the compressor buildup test. So we're going to start the engine to the truck, make sure we're in neutral. We're going to raise our RPMs to 1200 RPM, and we're going to build air pressure between 50 and 90. So 1200 RPM. When I reach 50 psi, I'm going to start my timer. And when I get to 90 psi, I'm going to stop my timer. Between 50 and 90, it should be 3 minutes or less. So I just started my timer. Our low air warning should turn off by 60, which it did. We're going to continue building air pressure until we get to 90 psi. Remember, it should be between 50 and 90 in 3 minutes or less. So that's about 90 there. So that's within parameters. We only took 23 seconds. We're now going to look for a governor cutout. That should happen between 120 and 135 psi, and that'll be indicated by the air dryer purge, or we'll stop building air pressure. There's the air dryer purge. So now we want to check for governor cut in. So to lower our air pressure and not double compound our brakes, we're going to push in both our yellow and red. That's going to lower our air pressure. The governor should cut the compressor back in 20 to 25 psi below our cutout. We can bring it back up to 1200 RPM for this part. We're watching our gauges. If we start building air pressure again, that confirms that our governor cut-in is functioning. And we are building air pressure. I see that my primary air is starting to build as well as my secondary. So now we're going to build the full air pressure, and after we reach full air pressure, which we did, we're going to do a leak test. So now we're going to shut the engine off. We need our gauges to work, so we'll put the key back in the on position, and we're going to need our timer again. So we're going to make a full brake application. You're going to see the air pressure drop. And when it stops dropping and the needles are steady, that means our system has stabilized and we can start our timer. So we're going to hold the brakes on a full brake application for a total of 2 minutes. On this particular combination, we're allowed to lose 6 psi because we have 1 trailer. So 4 for the tractor and 2 per trailer is what you're allowed to lose on this leak test. And also take note that this 2-minute hold serves as our first adjustment if you have automatic slack adjusters on your truck. So we'll hold this for 2 minutes. We're now 1 minute in and we have not noted any pressure loss in our system, which is good. Another good thing to know is when you're setting automatic slack adjusters, you should have a minimum of 90 to 100 psi. We recommend you have full air pressure to your system. We're now at the 1.5 minute mark, almost there. There's 2 minutes. So now we can release our brakes, and we're going to do a second brake application and hold it for 2 seconds for our second automatic slack adjuster adjustment. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Now we're going to secure the vehicle, and at the end of your air brake practical, you're going to have to get out of the truck and check both slack adjusters and push rod stroke on 1 axle. So we're going to pause the video here and go outside. We'll see you in a minute. So here we are outside. We're going to check for proper brake adjustment via the hand pull method. There's 2 methods, the hand pull method and the applied method. If you have a friend to push on the brake pedal in the truck for you. On the day of your actual air brake practical, these will be straight. We have the tires turned out for the purpose of this video so you can properly see how we check this and look at it. So I'm just going to grab my tape measure quick here. So this is a Type 20 brake chamber with no spring. So we don't gotta have our brakes released. We can simply just pull on the slack adjuster with our hand. We're gonna measure from the scratch mark I made on the rods. Sometimes you have an indicator level. And right now we're at 3/4 of an inch. We want about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, in between 1/2 inch and 1 inch on a hand pull. And on the applied method,